So once you know the components of the knuckle joint, that is eye, fork, pin, and split pin, and the basic nomenclatures, we start with the design of diameter of the uh, rod, that is capital D. Once you get diameter D, D1 is the enlarged portion, which is equal to 1.1 times of D. It is based on the empirical relation. Then we will go for the design of the eye, where the central portion which you can see, which is inserted in the eye, it is of width B, and the fork or the double eye is having width A. You can see it at the top and bottom. This is A. So A and B will be also calculated by the empirical relations. Then we have diameter of pin D, small d, which is taken equivalent to diameter of the rod, that is capital D. So small d is there, which is diameter of the pin. We take it equivalent to the diameter of the rod, and then we just check it in the shear failure or crushing failure or bending failure. And then D1 is the diameter of the collar of the pin. D0 is the diameter of the fork, outside diameter of the eye or fork. So these are the nomenclatures. When you are designing, as I had told you in the first lecture, when we were designing quarter joint, that designing anything means finding out the that particular parameter. I may need to find A, B, D, D1. So you assume that the component is weak at that particular cross section and it fails. The formula which we are using is stress equal to load upon area, and stress will be either tensile, it may be either shear, it may be either compressive or crushing, depending on the force and the component which we are focusing on. And area is the cross sectional area which is resisting that particular force. So we need to see which cross sectional area that particular parameter comes, and then we are designing it. So this is the brief for designing. These are the hints. So these are the nomenclature. Next we start with the tensile failure of the rod. Each rod is subjected to tensile force, which you can see. I had added the small view here. So D is the diameter of this rod. So if you pull it by the force P, you can see the cross sectional area which is resisting that tensile force. So the cross sectional area will be pi by 4 D square, where D is capital D, diameter of the rod. With this you will get the diameter of the rod. Then extended area, where you can see the hexagonal type of figure. So that is D1, which will be calculated by the empirical relation, D1 equal to 1.1 times of D. Then second one is the shear failure of the pin. The pin is subjected to double shear. So you can see that this central portion is I, and in fork it is like double I. So top portion and bottom portion. So even you insert a pin in this, and when you are giving the tensile force on both the side, so central portion of the pin will move out. If I assume that the pin is failing, it is of the soft material, so central portion of the pin will move out with the eye, and top and bottom portion of the pin will be in the fork, and it will move out with the fork. So pin will be splitted into three parts. So it consists of double shear. So you can see that the cross sectional area of shear. So pin, this central portion goes inside the eye, and top and bottom portion is in the fork or the double eye. So it shears double. So cross sectional area you can see, that is pi by 4 D square, where small d is there. And generally when you are designing, we take small d equal to capital D. So we use the equation pi by 4 D square, and as it shears at two locations, it will be twice. So shear stress tau equal to load upon area, which is 2 pi by 4 D square. With this you can calculate D, or if you take D, small d equal to capital D, then you will check the shear stress value. The shear stress value which you are checking should be less than the permissible value. That is what the design is. So first equation which you will be using, you can note it down, sigma t equal to p pi by 4 d square. Second equation which will be writing is d1 equal to 1.1 d. Then you will go for the shear failure of the pin. which is equal to tau uh, p2 p upon 2 pi by 4 d square. You have two options: either you calculate the diameter or you put small diameter equal to capital diameter and check the stress value. So permissible stress, shear stress for pin, you have to consider the standard proportion of diameter of pin is as follows: d equal to d. So you take d equal to d. The next one is the crushing failure of the pin. So here you can see the solid part which I had shown. This is eye in which the pin is projected, and you can see the portion of the pin which is inside the eye. I had shown it in another sketch. So these two sketches I had added today. Yesterday it was there where I had shown the projected area P of the pin having width B and diameter D. So B by D is the projected area, which you can see it here also. This is width of the eye, that is B, this much, and this is diameter of the pin. So B by D, this is the cross sectional area which is shown here. Same is shown in this particular 3D model sketch. D is the diameter and B is the width. So this will be the projected area for crushing failure. So the crushing failure of pin in I will be force upon projected area, that is P upon B into D. And similarly, we can have it for the fork. It will be double. So this central portion is in the I, and fork is C type. So it is having I at the upper end and I at the bottom end. So you will have the projected area at two locations. D is the diameter of the pin, and thickness or height is A, small a. So A into D, and it is 2 times. So it will be 2 times AD. That will be the crushing failure, sigma C equal to P upon twice AD. Then bending failure of the pin. So bending, the pin is subjected to three forces when you are giving the tensile force. The central portion of the pin, which is in the eye, will be experiencing the force P, which will be like UDL, and upper and bottom portion of the pin, which is in the fork or the double eye, will be having the load P by 2 at both the ends, and uh, this will be in the UVL type. And then if you resolve these forces and draw the free body diagram, see B is the width of the eye, A is the width of the fork at both the ends. So this is the total area twice A plus total length twice A plus B, where the entire load is coming. You will draw the force distribution diagram, you will resolve it, you will show the free body diagram, and then finally you will use the equation sigma B equal to my by I, where mb is the bending moment, which you are taking it from this diagram. Y is the distance of extreme fiber from neutral axis. So that will be from center of pin to outer, that is d by 2. So this we have taken here. I for circular cross section is pi by 64 d raised to 4. So that will be taken. And bending moment from this equation will be pi by 2 in bracket b by 4 plus a by 3. So this is the final equation. So from this equation, you will get the bending failure of the pin. So what you can do is you can put the value, empirical values of A and B, and you can check the bending and shear stress of the pin. So next equation is for tensile failure of the eye. So here you can see, if I assume that the eye is failing, the central portion, which we call it as eye, is failing due to tension. Here the pin is inserted. Now instead of assuming that the pin shears, we assume that pin is strong and this eye is weaker. So if it fails, you can see that it will split into two parts, and this hatched portion, you can see that is the area which is resisting the stress, that is tensile stress. So this area which is resisting the tensile stress, you can see the nomenclature. B is the width, this is width, that is B, and D is inner diameter, which is pin diameter, which is also equivalent to the shaft diameter. DO is the outer diameter. So this is DO, outer diameter, and this is D, inner diameter. So remaining area will be the area which is shown in hatching will be DO minus D, means this central portion will go DO minus D into this B. So that will be the area which is resisting, DO minus D into B. So from this you can get the tensile stress of the eye. Then shear failure of the eye. So instead of assuming that the uh, eye fails in tension, if I assume that it fails in shear, then this is how the when the eye is subjected to tensile force, the pin will take out the portion of the eye in shear. So instead of tensile, if it shears, it will shear like this. You can see that the portion is coming out with the pin, and the shear will be on two sides. So the cross section of the shear will be, see the this thickness, whatever you can see, height is B, that we know, and this will be DO minus D. So DO minus D divide by 2 because it is on one side, and into B, that will be the cross section. So the cross section which you can see it in the 3D model also is similar. So this one, you can see that this is the cross sectional area. Total is DO outer, this is D. DO minus D will give you the ring type area, and divide by 2 will give it for one side. So that will be the thickness, and height of that is B. So DO minus D divide by 2 into B, and this is subjected to double shear, so multiplied by 2. So this is the shear failure of the eye. Then once you get the shear failure of the eye, so you can also assume that DO equal to 2 times of D. DO is 2 times of diameter. That can be also assumed. And you can get the shear failure of the pin. Then similarly, we can find the tensile and shear failure of the fork. So tensile failure of the fork, we assume that the fork is weaker and pin is strong. So instead of shearing of the pin, the fork portion will fail in tension. So this is the cross sectional area which you can see, that will be outer diameter minus inner diameter into A, and this is 2 times. So DO minus D into 2A. This will be the area of tensile failure. So sigma T will be P upon 2A DO minus D. Then shear failure, similar to eye, fork or double eye will be also subjected to shear. So again, DO minus D divide by 2 for one side, and into A will be this cross sectional area multiplied by 2 will give you at two levels of the pin. So the area will be DO minus D into 2A. Then standard proportions which you need to use. So you can write down this equation: A equal to 0.75 capital D, A equal to 0.75 D, and B equal to 1.25 D. D1 is 1.5 D. D1 is 1.5 D. The gap X, which is generally shown from this round portion of the fork and this cross section, it is X, that is generally taken as 10 mm. So this was all for the design of knuckle joint. I hope you had understood the procedure. This is the summary of equation. First you will calculate the diameter D of the knuckle joint. Then you will calculate the empirical with the empirical relation n large diameter D1 equal to 1.1 D. Then you will calculate the dimensions A and B based on the empirical relations, that is A equal to 0.75 D and B equal to 1.25D. Then calculate the diameter of pin by shear considering bending or shear. So this is by considering shear stress, diameter of pin. This is by considering the diameter of pin by considering the bending failure. So whichever is maximum that you need to take, or you can take small d equal to capital D and put it in this equation and check the value of shear stress and bending stress. It should be less than the permissible values, then it will be safe. Then next you will be calculating the uh, dimensions for the fork. Do is the outer diameter, which is generally taken as 2d, and d1 is inner diameter, that is 1.5 d. These are standard relations. Then check the tensile, crushing and shear stress of the eye. Once you use these equations, you check the stresses, whether by putting these empirical values you get the permissible safe values or not. Then check the tensile, crushing and shear of the fork by using the given equations which you had already seen. So this was all regarding design of knuckle joint. I had discussed the entire procedure. Now this is one numerical. Write down the problem and whatever steps I had discussed in the earlier PPT, you just apply it as it is, step by step, and then you can solve the problem.